Hello, my name is Michael Cluth. I'm the founder of Four Crows Barber and Shave Company here in Nanaimo, BC. Today we're going to be doing a taper without the use of any guards or anything like that. So it'll be a full freehand taper.
The barber tools I'll be using in this service today are standard clipper comb, standard cutting combs, both tapered and non-tapered, tapered style clippers. These ones have the taper lever that brings it from a 0 to a 0.5. And then I have a balding shaver and a trimmer. Use a variety of scissors at various lengths for various techniques, both point cutting, texturizing, and blunt cutting. I begin by wetting down the top of the hair. I like to do this just so I can see the hair direction, crowns at the back, and that sort of thing. I keep the sides dry because all clipper work will be done on dry hair. So I like to start by making my mid-fade about half an inch above the top of the ear. I begin by cutting in the taper. I like to do this because it provides my design line. That way, as I move upwards towards the parietal ridge, it's a lot clearer and defined. I remove all excess hair just below the line that I'd cut in. I could have cut this line in with a shorter trimmer, but that will be used at the end to blend up into this line that I've created. If I cut in the line with my trimmer, I find that it's a lot more difficult to work out this line. And I cut in the taper about half an inch over the top of the ear, dipping down slightly at the back, as this particular client has quite a high occipital bone, and I don't want to be cutting in the line right at the occipital bone. I then open up my clipper to a half position and work up an area, again approximately half an inch to 3/4 inch above the line I just cut in. Everything up from this half guard will be either clipper over combed or scissor over combed to taper it up towards the parietal ridge. The specific clippers that I use to do these haircuts have a taper lever on them which closes from a 0 up to a 0.5. This allows me to be more detailed with the blending. On this particular client, I'm doing one side of the head at a time. This allows me to really focus on that one side and perfect it before moving on to the back and left side of the head. I'm using a mixture of some clipper over comb and scissor over comb just to get those fine details. Again, I'm trying to make that taper work its way gradually up. When you're doing the clipper over comb technique, you want to ensure that you're bringing the comb out to a 45-degree angle as the taper progresses from shorter to longer up the head. After I feel I've done as much blending as I can with the clipper over comb, I then switch to some scissor over comb just for some fine tuning. I feel that with the scissors you can get a lot more control over small individual areas, especially if there's some heavy spots in the side of the taper. Once I'm completely satisfied with the taper from the design line I had originally cut in, I'm using my trimmer just to clean up some of the bottom hairs up to that design line for the actual fade out to 0. Once I've completed all my clipper work, I move on to the scissor work on the top. I do the majority of my scissor work on wet hair. We determined in the consultation this particular client wanted something a bit shorter, something a little texturized, that sat up a bit from his head. After going through the top once and getting my length, I come back through and texturize just to give it a little body. Once I've caught the top to length, I take this time to use a little scissor over comb just to blend that lower taper portion to the top. Here I'm using some razor techniques just to clean up that line on the outer perimeter. I believe that styling hair is just as important as the actual cut. With this particular style, I want to dry it first, get some body in it before I apply any sort of product, get some lift. And I complete the majority of my haircuts with a straight razor on the back of the neck. This ensures that everything's nice and clean and really completes the service. Executing this tapered haircut without the use of guards can be both challenging and rewarding, as it requires a greater level of control using clipper over comb and scissor over comb techniques. But with practice, you'll have your clients looking their best in no time and coming back for more.